Hello everyone, this is Marlon Carter out of Dallas, Texas, and welcome to my video. This video is about uh, being afraid of the coronavirus. I'm not afraid of the coronavirus, but I do take precautions. I do abide about abide by the rules of putting on my gloves and putting on my face mask when I go out. And I work 1 week and I'm off a week. We rotate on the job because of this pandemic. Uh, One thing about being afraid of the coronavirus, or even just the thought of being afraid of the coronavirus, God has not put it in us the spirit of fear. But one thing about it, He has given us a sound mind and a spirit of discernment to do the things in the natural, which will, I guess, correspond to obeying in the spiritual. We should abide by the law of the land, but at the same time, we don't lose our faith because we abide by the law of the land. And not even if it's just a law, even with the putting on of the mask and the gloves, it's conducive to a healthier living. And God has made us stewards over this body, this natural body, to take care of it. And if you put on a mask, put on gloves when you go out into the storefront or wherever you're going when you leave your home, that's not the losing of your faith in God. That's using sound judgment. Okay, here's an example. I look at the coronavirus as a giant. And then I look back on the time when little David, as a boy, fought the big giant Goliath. We can look at Goliath we can look at the coronavirus like it's Goliath, and how that we can stand like David did to fight Goliath, which is the coronavirus. God could have wiped the giant out at any time without David to protect his children or to protect the Israelites. But he allowed David to remember the things that God had already delivered him from, and knowing that he delivered him out of those things, he can deliver him from this giant. So we can look back on our lives and realize that God has brought us this far. He has not left us. And we can fight this giant, but David picked up natural things to fight the giant with. Okay, we, as David, we pick up natural things to fight the coronavirus, which is the giant that we're facing. David picked up him 5 stones, and he took one of the stones and he ran out on the giant. See, the king Saul had gave David a gear to put on, an armor to put on, but David figured these things was too big. I can fight this giant with whatever God directs me to pick up to fight it with. So David picked up the stones and he used one to put in his sling. And that's how he defeated the giant. We can have faith in God, but we don't lose that he directs us to do in this natural life. Even Jesus told parables. He told a natural story to bring about a spiritual truth. But the thing about it is, a lot of us figure you don't have faith in God if you think this thing is going to defeat you. You don't have to put on all that mess but I think that's not rational thinking. I don't think that's sound judgment. We can take scriptures out of the Bible and run with it without reading the whole row. Okay, when I say the whole row, you can take without faith it's impossible to please God, but after you read and do researches in the Word of God, you realize that faith is an action word. Okay, on the same scenario, when Jehoshaphat was fighting that massive army, this massive army was coming up on Jehoshaphat, and he was afraid. He put the whole nation on a fast. And while they was congregated, while the congregation was together, a prophet, Jehaziel, stood up, and by the Spirit of the Lord, he announced that the battle is not yours, it's God. But what did they do? They obeyed God. They did something in the natural to defeat the armies that was coming against them. Although God destroyed the enemies, they fought against themselves and destroyed each other. But the Israelites, Jehoshaphat and the Israelite, they marched as they was directed by God down to fight the army. So being obedient to the Word of God, the Word of God teaches us to obey the law of the land. And he gives us these natural senses to adhere to the spiritual sense. In other words, the Bible speaks of first natural, then spiritual. We have to take care of this temple, this body that God has given us. We submit our whole body, mind, soul to God, but he allow us to use what he has given us in this natural to defeat whatever comes up on us in the natural through faith in him. But I beg to differ when you say that if you're afraid of the coronavirus, then where's your faith? You don't have no faith. That's not true. I have faith in God. I don't fear the coronavirus, but the coronavirus does not fear me either, according to my pastor, Pastor Norris Wayne Booth out of Dallas, Texas. And I love him dearly. And by not being afraid, we don't dismiss the caretaking of our natural bodies. My name is Marlon Carter. Subscribe to my videos. I promote my business opportunities. I try to do motivational videos, and just stay tuned to my next video after you subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Put on that mask, put on those gloves when you get ready to go out, and try to distance yourself 6 feet apart from each individual. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.